I'm just gonna check the audio. I can hear it. I think we're good. Let me just verify. Let's read and study. Part 5. How's the audio? I think we're good. How's the audio? I hear the echo. Is that only for me? Is it still doing it? Oh, nah, it's not. Thank God. That was not good. That was not good. Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right. I think we're good. You need echo? You need echo? I think that's good. Y'all let me know how the audio is. Do you hear echo or anything? Let me go back to StreamYard. So we're gonna start at chapter 41 in Sirach, aka Ecclesiasticus, aka Ben Sirach, in the Apocrypha. Checking it out. Checking it out. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. That's it. That's the one. Share. So this one says share screen. Oh, after you get there, yeah. What's up with my Chromebook? I like the way that looks right there, but I like the other one better. Hmm. Oh, okay. Well, it kind of didn't make a difference. Huh. Oh, it's a little bit bigger. That's the difference. Mm, 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 mm. I wonder if I can hear it on this. Man, my Chromebook moving slow. Come on. Dang. Oh my goodness. Waiting on this. Oh my goodness. I can do this fast on my phone. Let's test the audio again. Is it on mute? Let's test the audio again. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's go to Sirach. Let me hit this button. Boom. Okay. Okay, go ahead. We'll try to finish it today. Most I will. That's the plan. That's the plan. I think it ends at 51, so I got 10 chapters to go. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken. Oh, death, how bitter is the thought of you. All right. Okay, it says, "O death, how bitter is the thought of you, the one at peace among possessions, who has nothing to worry about and is prosperous in everything, and still is vigorous enough to enjoy food, vigorous enough to enjoy food. O death, how welcome is your sentence to one who is needy and failing in strength, worn down by age and anxious about everything, to one who is contrary and has lost all patience. Do not fear death's decree for you. Remember those who went before you and those who will come after. This is the Lord's decree for all flesh. Why then should you reject the will of the Most High? Whether life lasts for 10 years or 100 or 1,000, there are no questions asked in Hades. The children of sinners are are abominable children. I thought about that. Then it says, and they frequent the haunts of the ungodly. The inheritance of the children of sinners will perish, and their offspring will be a perpetual disgrace. Children will blame an ungodly father, for they suffer disgrace because of him. Woe to you, the ungodly, who forsake the law of the Most High God. If you have children, calamity will be theirs. You will beget them only for groaning. When you stumble, there is lasting joy. And when you die, a curse is your lot. Dang. Whatever comes from earth returns to earth. So the ungodly go from curse to destruction. Hmm. The human body is a fleeting thing, but a virtuous name will never be blotted out. Have regard for your name, since it will outlive you, longer than 1,000 hoards of gold. The days of a good life are numbered, but a good name lasts forever. My children, be true to your training and be at peace. Hidden wisdom and unseen treasure, of what value is either? Better are those who hide their folly than those who hide their wisdom. Therefore, show respect for my words. For it is not good to feel shame in every circumstance, nor is every kind of abashment to be approved. Be ashamed of sexual immorality before your father or mother, and of a lie before a prince or a ruler, of a crime before a judge or magistrate, and of a breach of the law before the congregation and the people, of unjust dealing before your partner or your friend, or of theft in the place where you live. Be ashamed of breaking an oath or agreement, and of leaning on your elbow at meals. I don't remember that verse. Um, of, of surliness in receiving or giving. I don't even know what this means. Hmm. Search, yeah. The quality of being often in a bad mood. Oh, unfriendly and not polite. I know some people like that. Let me go back to this Sirach. So it says, or surliness in receiving, or get. Oh yeah, that's not good. All right. 20. And of silence before those who greet you, of looking at a prostitute, mm, and of rejecting the apparel of a relative, of talk. Let me scroll down. Of taking away someone's portion or gift. That reminds me of when Kanye got up on the, I don't know what awards show this was, when he took did he take her thing? Or did he just get on the mic and say that shit went to Beyonce? I don't know. I forgot. But anyway, that reminds me of when Kanye did that to Taylor Swift. Um, what was we at? So let me go to 21 again. It says, and of rejecting the apparel of a relative, of taking away someone's portion or gift, and of gazing at another man's wife. hmm That's why pornos are so bad, because some of those ladies are married. And if you lust in sin and not spiritually over her, you committed two sins: fornication and adultery, spiritually. Um, 22. Of meddling with his servant girl, and do not approach her bed. Of abusive words. Yeah, that's temptation. Do not approach her bed. I think I gotta get that one. Hold on, wait. What my, what my, oh yeah, we got to get this. Oh yeah, we got to get it. Right, this baby down. Sirach 41:22. Yeah, Mike. Is that John? Is this Sirach too? Jesus said, no, definitely not. That's Matthew. Yeah, it's gotta be Matthew. Commentary of Sirach. Bill. What's this? Sirach still? Yeah, right. Right, sure. Okay, I found where I left off at. 41:22. Mm-hmm. 41:22. Now the pen ain't writing. Gotta go through this with these pens all the time. Let me turn this phone down. Hold on. Let me turn both of them down. Hold on. My other phone don't ring like that, so I don't even think I gotta worry about that. Okay, 41:22. 41:22. Do not approach a servant girl's bed. Don't approach her bed, boy. Don't be tempting. Um, dang, I'm spelling it wrong. Oh my goodness. Boom. Okay. 23. Oh no, I ain't finished. Okay, 22 still. Let me just start over at 22. Of meddling with his servant girl, and do not approach her bed. Of abusive words. Here we go with that again. Before friends. And do not be insulting after making a gift. Man, I'm cold over here. Oh, I'm by the window. That's right. I'm gonna get my Oh, that's the end of the chapter. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm finna get this my little house coat, as they call it. Yeah, bye. think I could have went to the next chapter at the bottom. Also, chapter 42. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Mm. 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 I just found my little magnifying glass from when I'm reading my book. Zoom in on them words. What? Okay, anyway, sorry about that. Yeah. I had left it in this little drawer for a long, long time and forgot about it. It's kind of dusty. I left it in a pack the whole time and it's dusty already. And it got a fingerprint on it. I don't think that's mine. Anyway, yeah, we just got to wipe that off. Also, where we at? 42 in the bill. 42 in the bill. 42 in the bill. Okay, here we go. So it says, be ashamed of repeating what you hear and of betraying secrets. Then you will show proper shame and will find favor with everyone. Of the following things, do not be ashamed and do not sin to save face. Do not be ashamed of the law of the Most High and his covenant, and of rendering judgment to acquit the ungodly. Mm, having pain in my eye. God dang it. I can't, hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna do this a little bit. Hold on, where we at? Verse 4, I think? Nope, didn't even finish 3. Um, mm, I need one of those little patches right here, and I can just read with this eye like this. But anyway, of keeping accounts with a partner or traveling companions. Okay, all right, okay. Now let me keep going. And of dividing the inheritance of friends. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. Of accuracy with scales and weights. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Don't be cheating. Then it says, and of acquiring much or little, of profit from dealing with merchants. Let me scroll down. And of frequent discipline. That's what I'm talking about. Whoosh. It says, and 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 a frequent. Hold on, let me straighten up. And a frequent disciplining of children. That's right. Whoosh. Um, that's good to see because they have made laws where people can get, I think, locked up now for disciplining their kids or something like that. I forget something they be talking about. So what we got? Disciplining children and of drawing blood from the back of a wicked slave. Ooh, whoop his butt. Whoosh, you done act up now, boy. Whoosh. Let me calm down. Oh, 6. Where there is an untrustworthy, oh my goodness, I couldn't do it. Nah, I couldn't do it. Where there is an untrustworthy wife, a seal is a good thing. And where there are many hands, lock things up. That's right, man. Put your stuff up, man. You got all these people in your. Just you got all these people in your place. You better hide your stuff, hide your Bibles. You better put them up. You better put them up. All right, anyway, let's keep going. That's a good one though. Let's see. Matter of fact, that reminds me of parties. Like we have a lot of people. Put your stuff up. Anyway, 7. When you make a deposit, be sure it is counted and weighed. And when you have my bad, and when you give or receive, put it all in writing. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it is cold right here. It's like a cool breeze coming from right in front of me. I think I'm gonna have to. What my socks at? I don't even got socks on. I'm gonna have to find them. Oh, got them. Bam! Goddamn baby, let me put these on. What verse I'm on? 7. And when you give or receive, put it all in writing. I'm on 8. Okay. Do not be ashamed to correct the stupid or foolish. Oh man. Or the aged who are guilty of sexual immorality. Just because you old, don't mean I can't correct you, sinner. Anyway, and then it says, then you will show your sound training, and you will be approved by all. A daughter is a secret anxiety to her father, and worry over her robs him of sleep. She- when she is young, for fear she may not marry, or if married, for fear she may be disliked. While a virgin, while a virgin, for fear she may be seduced and become pregnant in her father's house, or having a husband, for fear she may go astray, or though married, for fear she may be barren. Keep strict watch over a headstrong daughter, or she may make you a laughing stock to your enemies, a byword in the city and the assembly of the people, and put you to shame in public gatherings. See that there is no lattice in her room, no spot that overlooks the approaches to the house. Do not let her parade her beauty before any man. Bam. Many people don't follow that one, but anyway, I think I'm gonna get that one. Wait. Let me see what this next part say. Or spend her time among married women. Mm, that is deep. I don't know if I'm gonna get that. It's a deep one, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna note that one. I'm not gonna note that. That's deep though. Okay. Or spend time among married women. For from garments comes the moth, and from a woman comes woman's wickedness. Better is the wickedness of a man than a woman who does good. It is woman who brings shame and disgrace. I will now call to mind the works of the Lord and will declare what I have seen. Like that. By the word of the Lord, his works are made, and all his creatures do his will. The sun looks down on everything with its light, and the work of the Lord is full of his glory. I had to make sure I read that right. The Lord has not empowered even his holy ones. I was going to say, well, in my mind, I was thinking angels, but um, the Lord has not empowered even his holy ones to recount all his marvelous works. Interesting. Which the Lord the Almighty has established, so that the universe may stand firm in his glory. He searches out the abyss and the human heart. He understands their innermost secrets. For the Most High knows all that may be known. He sees from of old the things that are to come. Excuse me. 19. He discloses what has been and what is to be. I like how they worded that. And he reveals the traces of hidden things. No thought escapes him. Nothing, and nothing is hidden from him. He has set in order the splendors of his wisdom. Splendors, maybe I can just say it like that. I was trying to put that O in there. Um, he is from all eternity, one and the same. Nothing can be added or taken away, and he needs no one to be his counselor. That's right. How desirable are all his works, and how sparkling. I'm feeling good inside. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Um, I'm gonna start over at 22. How desirable are all his works, and how sparkling they are to see. I was just thinking about like stuff I get excited to see that he made. Like I get excited to see a rabbit, um, turtles. I think at one point I was even getting excited to see deers. But yeah, let me keep going. Did I finish 23? All these things live. Nope. Okay, all these things live and remain forever. Each creature is preserved to meet a particular need. That's right. Oh, I gotta get that one. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 42, 23. Wait a minute. Darn pen ain't trying to write now, man. See what I'm saying? Every time. This is why I be trying to use pencil sometimes. And pens be tripping. I gotta go through this. Okay, let me use this. 42, 23. Bam. Pencil work on the first try. 42. I messed up though. Now I gotta erase. Oh boy. 42, what? 23? 22? 23? All these things live and remain forever. Each creature is that one right there. Each creature is preserved to meet a particular need. That's right. I like the way they translated that too. I'm gonna tell y'all about something because that reminded me of something. Meet a particular need. Particular need. Particular need. Uh, you know what? I never had to spell particular, so if somebody had to ask me, I mean, if they asked me how to spell it without me seeing it right now, I don't know if I would have got it right. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, because that U is throwing me off right now, because I never had to spell it. Just saying, just saying, it's my first time writing it out, like ever. Anyway, um, let me tell y'all this real quick, and then I'll go on to what I was gonna say about this verse. It's another word that I came across lately. That I never prime mantis, or I'm probably pronouncing it a little bit off, but the creature, the prime mantis. I'm probably saying it wrong, y'all. I'm sorry, but me and his sister, we was on the phone lately, and she said something about a praying mantis, and I was like, um, can you spell that? Because I was gonna look it up. Because what she said, I had to go look it up and see, or I said something about a praying mantis, and then when I was trying to go look it up and verify it, and I was trying to type in praying mantis, but I never spelled it before. So I'm like, can you spell that? Like, I didn't know how to spell it. But anyway, that reminds me of this word particular. I never had to spell it, so I probably would have got that wrong trying to spell it. But anyway, this verse reminds me of the last part where it says, "Each creature is preserved to meet a particular need." Excuse me. That reminds me of My previous dog that I had, I called him the Yachts, for short, because I had at this point I had been broken up with my latest ex, and I was like still kind of dealing with that, and sad, or whatever. But it wasn't even my dog. My niece had got the dog, and it was a gift for her, and she didn't take care of the dog from day one, so I had to take care of the dog, and I didn't have a job, so I couldn't like you know financially support the dog, but I did get a job sooner, like after a while, and then I was able to financially support the dog. But that dog was so funny, like he used to crack me up. That's the dog that y'all see a lot in my videos. If you're not familiar, if you look at my book reviews or just type in um, Yatsachak jumps in the lake, um, he got a lot of videos in my on my channel. But yeah, he was very funny, very funny. The reason I'm bringing this up is because it says that each creature is preserved to meet a particular need, and for me, that creature was preserved to come into my life at that point in time to make me laugh, because I was sad due to the breakup that I previously had, and that dog came and was making me laugh a lot. We was always out doing something. He was cracking me up. But let me keep going. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna just put another note next to this and just put the yachts next to that verse, the yachts, and that's the reason I named him Yatsachak, because it's Isaac in English, but in Hebrew it can mean laughter, or he laughs, or my laughs, because the dog was so funny. He made me laugh all the time, so I named him Laughter because he made me laugh. I felt like God put him in my life to make me laugh. So anyway, 24. It says all things come in pairs, one opposite to the other. Sounds familiar. And he has made nothing incomplete. Each supplements the virtues of the other. Who could ever tire of seeing his glory? Uh-huh. In the building, the splendor of the sun. The pride, chapter 43, by the way. The pride of the higher realms. Mm. Is the clear vault of the sky, as glorious to behold as the sight of the heavens. The sun, when it appears, proclaims as it rises, what a marvelous instrument it is, the work of the Most High. At noon it parches the land, and who can withstand its burning heat? Exactly. A man, a man tending a furnace works in burning heat, but 3 times as hot is the sun scorching the mountains. It breathes out fiery vapors, and its bright rays blind the eyes. Great is the Lord who made it. At his orders it hurries on its course. It is the moon that marks the changing seasons. That's what I'm talking about. Genesis 1:14 in the building. I'm sorry. So this is chapter 44 or 3? 43? Okay. Let me get this one. 43. 6. Cross reference to Genesis 1:14 in the building. In the building. Okay, let me just put a note next to this. Mm, Okay. It is the moon that marks the changing seasons, governing the times, their everlasting sign. From the moon comes the sign for festivals, festal days, my bad. A light that wanes when it completes its course. Man, that's what Enoch talks about. The new moon, as its name suggests, renews itself. Mhm. How marvelous it is in this change, a beacon to the hosts on high, shining in the vault of the heavens. The glory of the stars is the beauty of heaven, a glittering array in the heights of the Lord. On the orders of the Holy One, they stand in their appointed places. They never relax in their watches. Look at the rainbow and praise him who made it. It is exceedingly beautiful in its brightness. It encircles the sky. It showed, dude. Yeah, dude. Man, that's true. What verse is it? 12. I'm gonna get 11 and 12. Okay. True. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. It encircles the sky with its glorious arc. Okay, they call it an arc. The hands of the Most High have stretched it out. Yeah, it talks about that. By his command, he sends the driving snow and speeds the lightnings of his judgment. Therefore, the storehouses are opened, and the clouds fly out like birds. In his majesty, he gives the clouds their strength, and the hailstones are broken in pieces. The voice of his thunder rebukes the earth. When he appears, the mountains shake. At his will, the south winds blows. So do the storm from the north and the whirlwind. He scatters the snow like birds flying down, and its descent is like locusts alighting. The eye is dazzled by the beauty of his whiteness, and the mind is amazed as it falls. He pours frost over the earth like salt, and what? Icicles? I don't think they spelled that right. Ain't supposed to be an E in between the I in the middle? Oh, never mind. See, I never had to spell that either. Okay. He pours frost over the earth like salt, and icicles form like pointed thorns. Man, I've never seen that spelled. Heard it a bunch of times, but anyway, 20. The cold north wind blows, and ice freezes on the water. It settles on every pool of water, and the water puts it on like a breastplate. He consumes the mountains and burns up the wilderness, and withers the tender grass like fire. A mist quickly heals all things. The falling dew gives refreshment from the heat. By his plan, he stilled the deep and planted islands in it. Those who sail the sea tell of its dangers, and we marvel at what we hear. In it are strange and marvelous creatures, yes, all kinds of living things, and huge sea monsters. Because of him, each of his messengers succeeds, and by his word all things hold together. Ooh, that reminds me of 1 Colossians 17. I think. What's that, 26? Okay. We could say more, but could never say enough. Let the final word be, He is the all. Where can we find the strength to praise Him? For He is greater than all His works. Awesome is the Lord and very great. and marvelous is his power. Glorify the Lord and exalt him as much as you can, for he surpasses even that. When you exalt him, summon all your strength, and do not grow weary, for you cannot praise him enough. Who has seen him and can describe him, or who can extol him as he is? Many things greater than these lie hidden, for I have seen but few of his works. For the Lord has made all things, and to the godly he has given wisdom. Wisdom. 44. Let us now sing the praises of famous men, our ancestors in their generations. The Lord appointed them great glory, his majesty from the beginning. There were those who ruled in their kingdoms and made a name for themselves by their valor, those who gave counsel because they were intelligent, those who spoke in prophetic oracles, those who led the people by their counsels, and by their knowledge and by their knowledge of the people's lore. They were wise in their words of instruction, those who composed musical tunes or put verses in writing, rich men endowed with resources, living peacefully in their homes. All these were honored in their generations and were the pride of their times. Some of them have left behind a name so that others declare their praise. But of others, there is no memory. Oh, fool. Man, this goes with what they call it. Is that reincarnation? Nah. When it's something that it's like when the dead don't have memories or something like that. Because people think when you die, you don't remember anything. This is 44, 8, and 9. What's the date? The 26th, something? Yeah. Oh, okay, I had it right. 23, 5:32 in the building. Mm-mm-mm. Commentary of what is this? Ecclesiastes 44. What should I call this? Dead people have memories? Something like that. What does it say? Some of them have left behind a name so that others declare their praise, but of others there is no memory. They have perished as though they had never been, had never existed. They have become as though they had never been born. Nobody remembers them. Yeah, I'm gonna just put it. Dead people have memory study because it's a huge study. Well, it's a study. It's a study. I can use this with it. Let's see. Then it says they and their children after them, but these also were godly men, whose righteous deeds have not been forgotten. Their wealth will remain with their descendants, and their inheritance with their children's children. That's good to know. Their descendants stand by the covenants, their children also, for their sake. Their offspring will continue forever, and their glory will never be blotted out. Their bodies are buried in peace, but their names lives on generation after generation. The assembly declares their wisdom, and the congregation proclaims their praise. Enoch pleased the Lord and was taken up, an example of repentance to all generations. Noah was found perfect and righteous in the time of wrath. He kept the race alive. Therefore, a remnant was left on the earth when the flood came. Everlasting covenants were made with him, that all flesh should never again be blotted out by a flood. Abraham was the great father of a multitude of nations, and no one has been found like him in glory. He kept the law of the Most High and entered into a covenant with him. He certified the covenant in his flesh, and when he was tested, he proved faithful. Therefore, the Lord assured him with an oath that the nations would be blessed through his offspring, that he would make him as numerous as the dust of the earth, and exalt his offering like the stars, and give them an inheritance from sea to sea, and from the Euphrates to the ends of the earth. To Isaac also he gave the same assurance, for the sake of his father Abraham, the blessing of all people and the covenant he made to rest on the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him with his blessings, and gave him his inheritance. He divided his portions, and distributed them among 12 tribes. From his descendants the Lord brought forth a godly man, who found favor in the sight of all. I wonder if this Moses, and was beloved by God and people. Moses, whose memory is blessed. That's right. He made him equal in glory to the holy ones, and made him great to the terror of his enemies. By his words he performed swift miracles, and the Lord glorified him in the presence of kings. He gave him commandments for his people, and revealed to him his glory. For his faithfulness and meekness, he consecrated him, choosing him out of all humankind. He allowed him to hear his voice, and led him into the dark cloud, and gave him the commandments face to face, the law of life and knowledge, so that he might teach Jacob the covenant and Israel his decrees. Aaron. He exalted Aaron, a holy man like Moses, who was his brother of the tribe of Levi. He made an everlasting covenant with him, and gave him the priesthood of the people. He blessed him with stateless, stateliness, um, and put a glorious robe on him. He clothed him in perfect splendor, and strengthened him with the symbols of authority, the linen undergarments, the long robe, and the ephod. And he encircled him with pomegranates, with many golden bells all round, to send forth a sound as he walked, to make their ringing heard in the temple, as a reminder to his people, with the sacred vestment of gold and violet and purple, to work of an embroiderer, the work of an embroiderer, my bad, with the oracle of judgment, Urim and Thummim, with twisted crimson, the, the work of an artisan, with precious stones engraved like seals, in a setting of gold, the work of a jeweler, to commemorate engraved letters, each of the tribes of Israel, with a gold crown upon his turban, inscribed like a seal with holiness, a distinction between, I was going to say something else, a distinction to be prized, the work of an expert, a delight to the eyes, richly adorned. Before him, such beautiful things did not exist. No outsider ever put them on, but only his sons and his descendants in perpetuity. His sacrifices shall be wholly burnt twice every day continually. Moses ordained him and anointed him with holy oil. It was an everlasting covenant for him and for his descendants as long as the heavens endure, to minister before the Lord, well, to the Lord, and serve as priests, and bless his people in his name. He chose him out of all the living to offer sacrifice to the Lord, incense and a pleasing odor as a memorial portion, to make atonement for the people. In his commandments he gave him authority and statutes and judgments to teach Jacob the testimonies, and to enlighten Israel with his law. Outsiders conspired against him and envied him in the wilderness. Dathan and Abiram and their followers, and the company of Korah. In wrath and anger the Lord saw it and was not pleased, and in the heat of his anger they were destroyed. He performed wonders against them to consume them in flaming fire. He added glory to Aaron and gave him a heritage. He allotted to him the best of the first fruits and prepared bread of first fruits in abundance. For they eat the sacrifices of the Lord, which he gave to him and his descendants. But in the land of the people he has no inheritance, and he has no portion among the people. For the Lord himself is his portion and inheritance. Phinehas, son of Eleazar, ranks third in glory, for being zealous in the fear of the Lord, and standing firm when the people turned away, in the noble courage of his soul, and he made atonement for Israel. Therefore a covenant of friendship was established with him, that he should be leader of the sanctuary and of his people, that he and his descendants should have the dignity of the priesthood forever, just as the covenant was established with David, son of Jesse, of the tribe of Judah, that the king's heritage passes only from son to son. So the heritage of Aaron is for his descendants alone. And now bless the Lord, who has crowned you with glory. May the Lord grant you sorry. May the Lord grant you wisdom of mind to judge his people with justice, so that their prosperity may not vanish, and that their glory may endure through all their generations. Mm, deep right there. That broke the priest down pretty good. Man, this water gonna be gone. I'm gonna have to go back in the kitchen. 45. Dang, we just read 45. Jeez. Man, I'm reading fast. Okay, let me take one note about chapter 45. Jeez. Chapter 45. I'm going to just say the scribes, the priests. Very well. All right, 46. My cups almost fell off the table. Oh, yeah, just so y'all know, I can see all y'all comments. I got both of my computers here today. So if y'all say anything, I can see it right away. Joshua and Caleb, chapter 46, verse 1. Joshua, son of Nun, was mighty in war and was the successor of Moses in the prophetic office. He became, as his name implies, a great savior of God's elect. Ooh, okay, to take vengeance on the enemies that rose against him, so that he might give Israel its inheritance. How glorious he was when he lifted his hands and banished his sword against the cities. Who before him ever stood so firm? For he waged the wars of the Lord. Oh, interesting. That reminds me of where it says in Numbers 21, I think 14 maybe, the book of the wars of the Lord. It reminds me of that right there. I wonder. I wonder is the book of the wars of the Lord considered that in Joshua? I don't know. But it is interesting. And then it says, 4. Was it not through him that the sun stood still and yeah, yeah, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies? Yeah, my. That's the rest of the verse in Joshua. But anyway, was it not through him that the sun stood still and one day became as long as two? He called upon the Most High, the Mighty One, when enemies pressed him on every side, and the great Lord answered him with hailstones of mighty power. He overwhelmed that nation in battle, and on the slope he destroyed his opponents, so that the nations might know his armament, that he was fighting in the sight of the Lord, for he was a devoted follower of the Mighty One. And in the days of Moses, he proved his loyalty, he and Caleb, son of Jephunneh. They opposed the congregation, restrained the people from sin, and stilled their wicked grumbling. And these two alone were spared out of 600,000 infantry to lead the people into their inheritance, the land flowing with milk and honey. The Lord gave Caleb strength, which remained in him in his old age, so that he went up to the hill country, and his children obtained it for an inheritance, so that all the Israelites might see how good it is to follow the Lord. The judges also, with their respective names, whose hearts did not fall into idolatry, and who did not turn away from the Lord. May their memory be blessed. May their bones send forth new life from where they lie. And may the names of those who have been honored live again in their children. Mm, that goes with the reincarnation study. Huh. Verses this 12, 45, 46. Let's see. Oh. Samuel was beloved by his Lord. A prophet of the Lord, he established the kingdom and anointed rulers over his people. By the law of the Lord, he judged the congregation. And the Lord watched over Jacob. By his faithfulness, he was proved to be a prophet. And by his words, he became known as a trustworthy seer. He called upon the Lord, the Mighty One, when his enemies pressed him on every side. And he offered in a sacrifice a sucking lamb. Then the Lord thundered from heaven and made his voice heard with a mighty sound. He subdued the leaders of the enemy and all the rulers of the Philistines. Before the time of his eternal sleep, Samuel, okay. Samuel bore witness before the Lord and his anointed. No property, not so much as a pair of shoes, have I taken from anyone, and no one accused him. Even after he had fallen asleep, he prophesied and made known to the king in his death, and lifted up his voice from the ground in prophecy to blot out the wickedness of the people. Ooh, that, that goes against King James demonology. I'll just say real quick in demonology of King James didn't think it was Samuel who came from the dead. He thought it was a demon portraying to be Samuel. But according to that, this is saying that it was Samuel that prophesied. Ooh, I'll stick with this. Okay. Should I get this? Let me note that just in case. Where was that? 20, verse 20. Verse 20 in the. Demonology. Demonology. Got it. Chapter 47 in the middle. Numerology. That's why I really got it wrong. I had did this little course and I was just saying numerology over and over. I just changed it up and said demonology just now. But anyway, after him, Nathan rose up to prophesy in the days of David. As the fat is set apart from the offering of well being, excuse me, so David was set apart from the Israelites. He prayed with loins as though they were young goats, and with bears as though they were lambs of the flock. In his youth, did he not kill a giant and take away the people's disgrace? When he whirled the stone in the sling and struck down the boasting Goliath. For he called on the Lord the Most High, and he gave strength to his right arm to strike down a mighty warrior. And that reminds me of boxing. How these people be knocking people out that be boasting. Ah, anyway. So it says 5. For he called on the Lord the Most High, and he gave strength to his right arm to strike down a mighty warrior and to exalt. Dang, my other computer for the die. Oh well, I'm gonna just turn my other computer off. What's up, Gordon? How you doing, man? Hope all is well. I guess I'll put my charger in this thing then, since you just said that, because it pops right up. I can see it. Let me get this charger. Hold on. That's not the main computer I'm using. I'm getting a little setup in here though. I'm getting a little setup. I'm normally in my studio room, but it is cold in that room. It'll be super cold. It'll be super cold in that room. Let me move this laptop over here. Y'all, this is a super small laptop. Like, it's 3 pounds. It's about 3 pounds. It's one of the lightest laptops I've ever had. It's a small little two-in-one laptop. Look at that. Magnifying glass. This thing is, man, so small. I'm gonna move my laptop, my Chromebook over here. I have to change it up a little bit. Hopefully the light will still be good. I think we're good. I got this big bright light like right here. It's like right here. So I think we're good. All right, so let's continue. It says in verse. Did I finish 5? Nope. Okay, I gotta finish 5. So it says, for he called on the Lord the Most High, and he gave strength to his right arm to strike down a mighty warrior and to exalt the power of his people. Now, I think I need to get this first because I got something that goes with that. This reminds me of boxing and how when people be going against God. And by the way, if y'all see my hair looking crazy, if it does at all, which it probably don't, it's because it's not finished yet. I'm still cutting it. What am I looking at? Oh, here it is. I gotta write this down real quick. Chapter 47. This is a good verse right here. Because I remember I made a video or a post about how God is involved in boxing And somebody said, "No, man, you wrong." And I was like, "Okay, so," because I remember I saw Muhammad Ali. He died to like, I don't know, it was like 20 something jabs back to back for like, I don't know how long it was, but he was in the corner, I think, and somebody was swinging at him, and he didn't get hit one time. And I was like, okay, so so according to some people, they don't believe that God is with certain boxers and certain fights. And I'm like, okay, you need to pay attention. But based on this right here, yeah, that verse backs me up. um, Especially the ones that believe in God. Yeah, in certain situations. Oh, yeah. Okay, 47 verse 5. 47 5. What should I say about this? Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Okay, got it. I had to make a note. Sorry. Gordon says, I appreciate the videos you did on some of the Apocrypha. Have you looked into the Book of Jubilees? Yeah. I never finished all of it though, I don't think. Or did I? I don't think so. No, I didn't. Thanks for reminding me. I meant to finish it. Have you? Or have not any of you? Okay, so it says, 6. So they glorified him for the tens of thousands he conquered, and praised him for the blessings bestowed by the Lord when the glorious diadem was given to him. For he wiped out his enemies on every side and annihilated. Dude, I'm telling you, the way people pronounce this word, I cannot spell that because people say it like this. They say annihilated. Annihilated. Okay, I kind of hear it now, but I didn't hear that H the way people, well, the way it sounded. But I'm telling you, like, if somebody told me to spell that, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think I would get it right unless they pronounce it properly. I might have a shot. But anyway, let me keep going. For do I need to move my camera over? Oh, I think that's a little bit better, is it? Wait, that's too much. About right there. I think that'll work. Yeah. Okay, so 7. For he wiped out his enemies on every side and annihilated his adversaries, the Philistines. He crushed their power to our own day. In all that he did, he gave thanks to the Holy One, the Most High, proclaiming his glory. He sang praises with all his heart, and he loved his Maker. He placed singers before the altar to make sweet melody with their voices. He gave beauty to the festivals. He arranged their times throughout the year. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. While they praised God's holy name, and the sanctuary resounded from early morning. The Lord took away his sins. That's what I'm talking about. And exalted his power forever. He gave him a covenant of kingship and a glorious throne in Israel. Here we go. After him, a wise son rose up, who because of him lived in security. Solomon reigned in an age of peace, because God made all his uh, borders tranquil, so that he might build a house in his name, and provide a sanctuary to stand forever. How wise you were when you were young! You overflowed like the Nile with understanding. Your influence spread throughout the earth, and you filled it with proverbs having deep meaning. Your fame reached to far off islands, and you were loved for your peaceful reign. Your songs, proverbs, and parables and the answers you gave astounded the nations. In the name of the Lord God, who is called the God of Israel, you gathered gold like tin and amassed silver like lead. But you brought in women to lie at your side, and through your body you were brought into subjection. You stained your honor and defiled your family line, so that you brought wrath on your children, and they were grieved at your folly, because the sovereignty was divided, and a rebel kingdom arose out of Ephraim. But the Lord will never give up his mercy, or cause any of his works to perish. He will never blot out the descendants of his chosen one, or destroy the family line of him who loved him. So he gave a remnant to Jacob, and to David a root from his own family. Solomon rested with his ancestors and left behind him one of his sons, broad in folly and lacking in sense. Rehoboam, Rehoboam, whose policy drove the people to revolt. Then Jeroboam, son of Nebat, led Israel into sin and started Ephraim on its sinful ways. Their sins increased more and more until they were exiled from their land. For they sought out every kind of wickedness until vengeance came on them. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, they was off the chain, man. They was off the chain. Oh, we got Elijah in the building. Let me check out what you said real quick. Gordon says, "Bro, my wife and I are working through it. We are about halfway. It is mind blowing. It should definitely be canon. Canon. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna get some more water. Canon. Canon. Okay, chapter 48. That's good. Y'all reading that too. Some wives or husbands don't even read together, but that's good. So it says in 48, verse 1. Then Elijah arose, a prophet like fire, and his word burnt like a torch. He brought a famine upon them, and by his zeal he made them few in number. By the word of the Lord he shut up the heavens, and also 3 times brought down fire. How glorious were you, Elijah, in your wondrous deeds, whose glory is equal to yours. You raised the corpse from death and from Hades. By the word of the Most High, you sent kings down to destruction and famous men from their sick beds. Hezekiah, that's what I'm talking about. Um, Verse 7. You heard a rebuke at Sinai, the judgments of vengeance at Horeb. You anointed kings to inflict retribution and prophets to succeed you. What was his name? Elisha? Yeah. You were taken up by a whirlwind of fire in a chariot with horses of fire. And at sorry, there was no and. At the appointed time, it is written, you are destined to calm the wrath of God before it breaks out in fury, to turn the hearts of the parents to their children, and to restore the tribes of Jacob. Happy are those who saw you and were adorned with your love, for we also shall surely live. Elisha's in the building. When Elisha was enveloped in the whirlwind, Elisha, I'm sorry. When Elijah was enveloped in the whirlwind, Elisha was filled with his spirit. That's what I'm talking about. That's how reincarnation goes right there. But people don't people don't talk about that. Anyway, um, and Elisha was still Elisha. He just had Elijah's spirit in him also, but he was still Elisha. Two different spirits. People think somebody comes, well, some people think people just keep coming back over and over and over. No, no, it's not how that goes. So anyway, then it says he performed twice as many signs and marvels with every utterance of his mouth. Never in his lifetime did he tremble before any ruler, nor could any imitate him at all. That's what I'm talking about. I had to check my battery life real quick. I'm gonna check in with you too in a minute, Gordon. Had to make sure my Chromebook wasn't dying on me. Okay, so I'm gonna read where it says he performed twice as many signs and marvels with every utterance of his mouth. Never in his lifetime did he tremble before any ruler, nor could anyone intimidate. Sorry, intimidate him at all. Nothing was too hard for him. That's what I'm talking about. And when that boy had faith, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, and then it's and then it says, and when he was dead, his body prophesied. I don't remember that. Dang, okay. And if I did read it, I forgot. Hmm, that reminds me of Samuel. Okay. Well, 14. In his life, he did wonders, and in death, his deeds were marvelous. Despite all this, the people did not repent, nor did they forsake their sins until they were carried off as plunder from their land and were scattered all over the earth. The people were left very few in number, but with a ruler from the house of David. Some of them did what was right, but others sinned more and more. That's how I was. Hezekiah fortified his city and brought water into its midst. He tunneled the rock with iron tools and built cisterns for the water. In his days, Sennacherib invaded the country. He sent his commander and departed. He shook his fist against Zion and made great boast in his arrogance. Then their hearts were shaken and their hands trembled, and they were in anguish like women in labor. But they called upon the Lord who is merciful, spreading out their hands toward him. The Holy One quickly heard them from heaven and delivered them through Isaiah the prophet. I added the prophet, but just saying. Isaiah is in the building. Okay, 21. The Lord struck down the camp of the Assyrians, and his angel wiped them out. For Hezekiah did what was pleasing to the Lord, and he kept firmly to the ways of his ancestor David, as he was commanded by the prophet Isaiah, who was great and trustworthy in his visions. In Isaiah's days, the sun went backwards. That's right. And he prolonged the life of the king, which was Hezekiah. 24. By his dauntless spirit, he saw the future and, and comforted the mourners in Zion. Comforted. I said comforted. I mean, you can say it that way, but sorry about that. What is that, hair? It's always hair in my mouth when I'm cutting my hair. I tell you, man, this hair be everywhere. I'm still cutting my hair. That's why I look like this. But anyway, what was I talking about? 25. Um, he reveals he reveals what was to occur to the end of time and the hidden things before they happen. Yeah, in the building. 49. Josiah in the building. Okay, let me see what Gordon says. Gordon says the part about Ephraim is interesting. Ephraim took over the kingdom of Israel after the split that the verse you read happened. Um, Let me read that again. The part about Ephraim is interesting. Ephraim took over the kingdom of Israel after the split that the verse you read happened. I'm not comprehending that. Let me read the next comment too to see if this will help. Do you also believe that we are Ephraim slash Israel that was scattered among the nations and that we are finally coming to the truth and are being grafted back in? Well, the first part I cannot answer. But the second part, where you said, do I believe that we are Ephraim slash Israel? And well, let me just say, yeah, but not all. Not all of us. A lot of us don't even have documents to support it like they used to back in the day. Um, a lot of us just go by belief in scriptures and that's it. But yeah, it's possible that a lot of us are Israelites, Ephraimites. Hard to say who is, but and yeah, to the part where you say scattered among the nations, and that we are finally coming back to the truth, and are being grafted back in. I can agree with that. I just don't. I'm just careful with who I say is an Israelite, and I'm aware that not all black people are. Because some people just say anybody that's black is an Israelite, and that's not true. So many black nations and tribes. A lot of different tribes over here that's black. It's an ignorant statement. But the first part, I don't understand. You said, I think you're talking about a previous verse I read in this book, where maybe like two chapters back or three. You said the part about Ephraim is interesting. Ephraim took over after the split that the verse you read happened. Are you asking me did it happen, or are you saying it happened already? Okay, I'm gonna keep going while I wait on your replies. 49? 49. I'm gonna need something to drink too. Okay, it says the name of Josiah is like blended incense prepared by the skill of the perfumer. His memory is as sweet as honey to every mouth, and like music at a banquet of wine. He did what was right by reforming the people and removing the wicked abominations. He kept his heart fixed on the Lord. That's what I'm talking about. In lawless times, he made godliness prevail. Yeah. Except for David and Hezekiah and Josiah, all of them were great sinners. It's true though. That is true. I don't even know if Solomon turned it around before he died, but jeez, that's sad. Um. So next part says, "For they abandoned the law of the Most High. The kings of Judah came to an end. They gave their power to others and their glory to a foreign nation, who set fire to the chosen city of the sanctuary and made its streets desolate, as Jeremiah had foretold. For they had maltreated him, who even in the womb had been consecrated a prophet, to pluck up and ruin and destroy, and likewise build and to plant. It was Ezekiel who saw the vision of glory which God showed him above the chariot of the cherubim. For God also mentioned Job, who held fast to all the ways of justice. May the bones of the 12 prophets send forth new life from where they lie. For they comforted the people of Jacob and delivered them with confident hope. How shall we magnify Zerubbabel? He was like a signet ring on the right hand, and so was Jeshua, son of Josadak or Josadak. In the days they built the house and raised the temple holy to the Lord, destined for everlasting joy. I mean, glory. The memory of Nehemiah also was lasting. He raised our fallen walls and set up gates and bars and rebuilt our ruined houses. Few have ever been created on earth like Enoch. Oh, here it is again. For he was taken up from the earth, nor was any ever born like Joseph. You're right. I agree. I agree about this. Like if y'all read the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs and read the book of Joseph or the Testament of Joseph in there, so much happened that we didn't hear about in the Bible. Oh man. Oh man. He was different. He was different. I'll say this and keep going about it briefly, just so you can get an idea. The queen who was married to the pharaoh who tried to seduce him to have sex with her, we don't hear. Man, she did so much more that we don't hear about to him to get her, well, to get him to sleep with her, and he still didn't do it. Man, it's deep. Let's keep going. It says in 15, nor was anyone ever born like Joseph. Even his bones were cared for. Shem and Seth and Enosh were honored, but above every other created living being was Adam. I figured. I figured. Chapter 50 in the build. Did I hit it? I should have hit it. There we go. Chapter 50, right? Yeah, in the build. Okay, Gordon says in the comments, I meant to say, oh, you said it was a type, it was a mistype. Sorry. Okay. I meant to say after the verse that you read, it was a typo, but it is not important. You answered my question. Okay, gotcha. Um, then you said, I believe that if we believe what the scriptures tell us and we follow his commandments like he instructs us to out of love for him and not to work our way into heaven, we are grafted in, regardless of your race slash nation. Yeah, that's the spiritual Israelite. Yeah. All right. Let me see. All right, chapter 50, verse 1. We're almost finished. I think we only got one more chapter after this. But I'm definitely finna get something to drink because my water is gone and my throat's dry. I gotta get something to drink. Hold on. It's all good. It's all good. Man, did y'all hear that? This ain't good. This ain't good. Look, I just got this little bit of tea left, and it's already gonna be gone. Look, listen. Dang it. Well, we can get through this chapter though. So it says in 50 verse 1, and Ben Sirach, aka Sirach, aka Ecclesiasticus in the building. Okay, it says the leader of his brothers and the pride of his people was the high priest, Simon, son of Onias, who in his life repaired the house, and in his time fortified the temple. Is this the Apocrypha? No, no, no. Oh, New Testament. Nah. Oh no. Let's see. He laid the nah, New Testament was after this. Okay. Let's keep going. He laid the foundations for the high double walls, the high retaining walls for the temple enclosure. Uh, in his days, a water cistern was dug, a reservoir like the sea in circumference. He considered how to save his people from ruin and fortified the city against siege. Smart man. How glorious he was, surrounded by the people, as he came out of the house of the curtain, like the morning star among the clouds, like the full moon at the festal season, like the sun shining on the temple of the Most High, like the rainbow gleaming in the splendid clouds, like roses in the days of first fruits, like lilies by a spring of water, like a green shoot of Lebanon on a summer day, like fire and incense in the censer. Sounds good. Like a vessel of hammered gold, studded, studded with all kinds of precious stones, like an olive tree laden with fruit, and like a cypress towering in the clouds. When he put on his glorious robe and clothed himself in perfect splendor, when he went up to the holy altar, he made the court of the sanctuary glorious. When he received this sounds good to me, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but this sounds good. This sounds good. It's soothing. It is soothing. All right, let's keep going. Verse 12. When he received the portions from the hands of the priest, as he stood by the hearth of the altar. Interesting. With a garland of brothers around him, He was like a young cedar on Lebanon. He surround. Oh no, there's no he. Surrounded by the trunks of palm trees. All of the sons of Aaron, in their splendor, held the Lord's offering in their hands before the whole congregation of Israel. I'm still laughing at Aaron. Finishing the service at the altars and arranging the offering of the Most High, the Almighty, he held out his hand for the cup and poured a drink offering of blood of the grape. He poured it out at the foot of the altar, a pleasing odor to the Most High, the King of all. And then the sons of Aaron shouted. They blew their trumpets of hammered metal. They sounded a mighty fanfare as a reminder before the Most High. Then all the people together quickly fell to the ground on their faces to worship their Lord, the Almighty God, the Most High. I mean, there was no the God Most High. There we go. Then singers praised him with their voices in sweet and full toned melody. I like it. I like the setup. 19. The people of the Lord Most High offered their prayers before the merciful one until the order of worship of the Lord was ended, and they completed his ritual. Then Simon came down and raised his hands over the whole congregation of Israelites, and to pronounce the blessing of the Lord with his lips, and to glory in his name. And they bowed down and worshiped a second time to receive the blessing from the Most High. And now bless the God of all, who everywhere works great wonders, who fosters our growth from birth and deals with us according to his mercy. May he give us gladness of heart. That's what I'm talking about. And may there be peace in our days in Israel, as in the days of old. May he entrust to us his mercy, and may he deliver us in our days. I like that. Sounds like a prayer a little bit. Then at least this part, but then it says, two nations my soul detest. And the third is not even a people. Those who live in Seir, and the Philistines, and the foolish people that live in Sitchim. In, let me straighten up. Let me straighten up. Y'all know I can't read when I'm laughing. Hold on. 27. Instruction and understanding and knowledge I have written in this book. You sure did. Sure did. Okay, let me keep going. Jesus, son of Eliezer, son of Sirach of Jerusalem. Hold on. Another way it's translated is Joshua. They're interchangeable. So someone might say Joshua, son of Eliezer, son of Sirach of Jerusalem, to distinguish which Jesus slash Joshua this was. Because there was Joshua, son of Nun, there was Jesus, which can be interchanged with Joshua, which was the main Messiah. But let's keep going. So it says Jesus, son of Eliezer, son of Sirach of Jerusalem, whose mind poured forth wisdom. So that was this Jesus or Joshua who wrote this. Then it says, happy are those who concern themselves with these things, and those who lay them to heart will become what you so right. So right. Okay, let me keep going. Will become wise. For if they put them into practice, let me turn my laptop this way. There we go. Okay. For if they put them into practice, they will be equal to anything. For the fear of the Lord is their path. One more chapter, or is that it? 51? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. All right, let me catch up. All right, let's see what we got over here. Lord. Typo. Okay. Gotta see where I left off. Oh, right here. Okay, so Gordon says, dude, Joseph was an absolute legend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then he says, well, then you say, dude, the fact that he pretty much ruled Egypt as the second, yeah, in charge and kept the world alive basically in that time of famine. And if you read Jasher regarding that part when he ruled, it talked about him learning a bunch of different languages. But so let's keep going. Then it says, "You best be getting some living water." Yeah, yeah, I gotta get something else to drink. But I think I can get through this chapter though without it. Then I like the way he worded the living water. Then he says, "Gordon, bro, you would love the work of Sin Griffin, Kingdom of Context." He did a series with another dude. They looked at the Apocrypha and biblical endorsed texts to test them against the canon. He is even compiling a study guide all of Scripture, Apocrypha, and biblical endorsed extra biblical texts, Enoch, Jasher, and the Book of Jubilees. A. Brown. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. I'm all caught up now. Let's knock this last chapter out. What time we got? 6:26. Hey, yo, damn. Yeah, this about time. It's about time. It's a good time. It's a good time. I gotta get back to cutting my hair and all that. All right. So it says in chapter 51. It says in verse 1, I give you thanks, O Lord and King, and praise you, O God, my Savior. Excuse me. I give thanks to you, to your name, for you have been my protector and helper, and have delivered me from destruction and from the trap laid by a slanderous tongue, from lips that fabricate lies. In the face of my adversaries, you have been my helper, and delivered me in the greatness of your mercy and of your name, from grinding teeth about to devour, from the hand of those seeking my life, from the many troubles I endured, from choking fire on every side, and from the midst of the fire that I had not kindled, from the deep bellies of Hades, from an unclean tongue and lying words, the slander of an unrighteous tongue to the king. My soul drew near to death, and my life was on the brink of Hades below. They surrounded me on every side, and there was no one to help me. I looked for human assistance, and there was no one. Then I remembered, oh, sorry. Then I remember your mercy, O Lord, and your kindness from of old. For you rescue those who wait. That's what I'm talking about. For you rescue those who wait for you, and save them from the hand of their enemies. And I sent up my prayer from the earth, and begged for rescue from death. I cried out, Lord, you are my Father. Do not forsake me in the days of trouble, when there is no help against the proud. I will praise your name continually and will sing hymns of thanksgiving. My prayer was heard, for you saved me from destruction and rescued me in time of trouble. For this reason, I thank you and praise you, and I bless the name of the Lord. These are the missing verses that the KJV doesn't have of the Apocrypha in this chapter. It's like 18 missing verses right here. So, anyway, it says, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of praises, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the guardian of Israel, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him who formed all things, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the Redeemer of Israel, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him who gathers the dispersed of Israel, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him who rebuilt his city and his sanctuary, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him who makes a horn to sprout for the house of David, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him who has chosen the sons of Zadok to be priests, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the shield of Abraham, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the rock of Isaac, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the mighty one of Jacob, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him who was chosen, who has chosen Zion, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the King of the kings of kings, for his steadfast love endures forever. He has raised up a horn for his people. Praise for all his loyal ones, my bad. Praise for all his loyal ones. For the children of Israel, the people close to him, praise the Lord. While I was still young, and then that's the end of the missing verses. Well, that was restored to the text. Then it comes back in at 13. It says, while I was still young before I went on my travels, I sought wisdom openly in my prayer. Before the temple, I asked for her, and I will search for her until the end. From the first blossom to the ripening grape, my heart delighted in her. My foot walked on the straight path. From my youth, I followed her steps. I inclined my ear a little and received her. And I found for myself much instruction. I made progress in her. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm feeling good inside right now. I'm telling you, I am good. Okay, then it says in 17. Did I read all of 16? I think I did. Yeah, I believe I did. 17. I made progress in her. To him who gives wisdom, I will give glory. For I resolved to live according to wisdom, and I was zealous for the good, and I shall never be disappointed. That's what I'm talking about. My soul grappled with wisdom, and in my conduct I was strict. I spread out my hands to the heavens and lamented my ignorance of her. I directed my soul to her, and in purity I found her. With her I gained understanding from the first. Therefore I will never be forsaken. My heart was stirred to seek her. Therefore I have gained a prized possession. The Lord gave me my tongue as a reward, and I will praise him with it. Draw near to me, you who are uneducated, and lodge in the house of instruction. Why do you say you are lacking in these things? Why do you endure such great thirst? I opened my mouth and said, acquire wisdom for yourselves without money. Put your neck under her yoke, and let your souls receive instruction. It is to be found close by. See with your own eyes that I have labored but little, and found for myself much serenity. Nice. Hear but a little of my instruction, and through me you will acquire silver and gold. May your silver, I'm sorry, may your soul rejoice in God's mercy, and may you never be ashamed to praise Him. Do your work in good time, and in His own time, God will give you your reward. In His own time. I didn't say that properly. That's the end of chapter 51. We have finished this book. So let me check in with the comments. Gordon says, yeah, he learned 70 languages. Yeah, all right. I knew it was a lot. In one night, Jasper is a great book. It would seem his steadfast love endures forever. Okay. Haha, you said, by the way. All right, so that's it. I told somebody that I was gonna read The Shepherd of Hermas next. So most I will, I knock that book out. I kind of know what I want to do next, whether it's on, live with y'all or not. But I don't know if I should say it yet. Because if I say it, I'm gonna probably have to commit to it. And I don't know if that's the right thing. I know I want to read a lot, but I'll just say it like this. I do need to finish the Quran. I only did chapter 5, well, 1 through 5. I need to finish that. And it's not a long book, so I might finish that. So at least I can say I finished it. And I thought about it based on the fact that the book is so short. That makes sense on why Muslims know the Bible, because their book is so short. Just that, and then they can read the Bible and be educated in both. And a lot of people who read the Bible mainly or only don't read the Quran. So when it comes to debates, Whew, Muslims seems a lot of them seem sharper and more educated in both books. It needs to be the other way around as well. So you know, some of us gonna have to read it, and I'm gonna read it. One reason I did read it um, was because my niece was getting into that belief. That was one reason. I'm like, well, I need to know how to communicate with her about it, and it definitely does help knowing what I know from reading it. Another reason I read it was because was that a reason? Yeah, I guess I can say that. Like I was looking for the different angels in the Bible, like Uriel and what's his name, Raphael, and I was told a long time ago that they were in the Apocrypha and the Quran, and I didn't have either at the time, so I got the Apocrypha first, and then later got the Quran. But that was one reason I did want to read the Quran. I just want to finish it. Like the book is good. The book increases me in spirit, just like when I read the scriptures, the biblical text, biblical spiritual text. So Gordon says, "Are you reading the Quran to better your apologetics?" I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what that word means. Apologetics. Allow me to educate myself. Oh man, let me type this in. Apologetics. I don't even use that word. Yeah, I've never even used that word unless I was reading it. Apologetics. Apologetic. Regretfully, this is what it say. Regretfully acknowledging or excusing an offense or failure. Nah, that don't sound like me. I don't think. What else is that? Of the nature of a formal defense or justification of something such as a theory or religious doctrine. I don't know if either of those fit. I don't know. I don't know if that's the definition that defines why I'm reading it. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good word for why I'm reading it. I already gave you two reasons. Well, I gave you three. Yeah, man. Yeah. Cause another one. I used to watch debates with the Kemet's, and it would be Kemet's against Israel or Christians. What else? Muslims versus Christians, and um, from watching those debates, I knew I needed to be ready. So that was another reason too. I wanted to read the Quran. I think because of that as well. Yeah, or at least study, because if you do have to debate one of them, you need to be knowledgeable because they're gonna throw some stuff out, and a lot of people don't know. Like I don't know, man. I don't know stuff. A lot of Christians, man, they just don't. It just seems like they just don't read the Quran. They just don't deal with the Quran. You say, dude, chapter 10, verses 94 in the Quran is one way Muslims are starting to come to Christ. Oh, okay, I haven't got to chapter 10 yet. That's good. I think they will eventually come anyway because the Quran is so short, and I don't just my opinion after reading it over and over and over. I don't think you would want to keep reading it that much. So you're gonna want to read some extra biblical and spiritual text. What was the source of the Quran? What does the Quran support? What does it verify? It verifies the Old and New Testament. So I think eventually, if one was actually studying the Quran and open minded from reading the Quran, it talks about figures in the Old and New Testament. I think they would read it anyway. I think they would read it But Farrakhan told people don't read the Bible anymore, just read the Quran. So for people that's indoctrinated, they might not read it. Ain't my problem though. Well, it's what it is. So what time we got? 150, 48. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody who will watch and have watched and join me. Um, I don't know when I'm gonna go live again about reading, but I wanted to go live and I just went live to get this over with while I was ready. So we're done with Sirach. So the next thing is the Shepherd of Hermas, book one. That's gonna be a long read. I'm gonna probably be on that for a month because it's three books, three good books though, three good books. Have any of y'all read the Shepherd of Hermas? To whoever is still here, I know Gordon might be here, but I don't know about anybody else. Shepherd of Hermas is good. It's funny. I think it was something I was supposed to share. Nope, haven't read it. Okay, well, most high willing, when I'm reading that, you can check that out, man. It's deep. I think your wife will like it also because it got stuff for marriage that isn't said flat out this way in the New Testament. And a lot of women need to hear it because, yeah, it's good. It's good. I need to, when I read it again, I need to mark that. I need to find out where it is because I always mention it to women. I think it's about divorce, but I just can't remember where it is. Man, it's good. It got stuff about fasting, um, repenting. Yeah, that's gonna be good for me. I already know that's gonna be good because the way it talks about repenting, oh man, that's gonna be good right there. Nah, I'm not looking. I don't. I don't be looking, man. I be kind of minding my business, trying to make progress in my own life. Yeah, yeah, I ain't looking. But who I find is who I find. Or who find me, find me. I think I'm one of those people that if a woman wants to marry me, they have to find me at this point. Because I mean, like, when I got serious with the Bible and started walking with God, I really didn't look for women like that much. It seemed like they had to find me. I'm just saying, it's just that's how it seemed. But once I understood that that's who I should go for, okay, then I was willing to go for it at a certain point. But I think that was like probably after they had already sought me out. Anyway, I ain't looking though. I don't think I need to look right now. I think I need to just keep focused on what I'm focused on. Just keep learning, living, studying, and doing what I'm doing, and trying to do more of that. Like I think if I focus, it really is true. What I'm trying to say, because what I was finished to say is if I just focus on that, it's two scriptures that verifies it. Matthew 6:33, which says, "For seek you first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." And the wife is one, somewhere down the line, whenever the Most High wills. And then again, if it's not according to His will, then I won't marry. But the next one is in I think it's the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs, or is it the Book of Jasher? It might be Jasher. It's I think it's Jasher. I think it's chapter 24 somewhere, but it's a good verse. Wherever it is in whichever book, it talks about marriage and it's pretty good. Um, Look at my hair. That was funny. Um, what was I talking about marriage? Yeah, it talks about like study the law basically until yeah, it talks about like focus on the law until the Most High gives you a wife of whom He will. So it basically tells people to just focus on the laws, like study it and be focused on that until the Most High gives you a mate. So in other words, don't worry about it. Worry about the law. Focus on that, and you'll get it in due time when the Most High is ready to give it to you. So ain't nothing to worry about. I mean, yeah, I think about a wife every now and then. I can see the little light creeping in right here, right there. You can see it. I can see it right there. You ain't slick. Getting in my view. Think you slick. Let me get you out my view. What does light think it is? Anyway, I need to get another one of these big old studio bright lights, man. This light is bright. I want a smaller one though, not the same size, but it's still bright. So yeah, man, I ain't worried about it right now. Not. And you know what? I think it'll find me, or I think we'll find each other. And I might not know right away that that's who I'm supposed to marry, but like somewhere down the line, it'll reveal itself. Because what we'll be doing, most high willing, is righteousness together. We'll most likely be like praying together, reading together, worshiping God together. We'll be spending time together in that area. And if it's meant for us to go further and pursue it, most high willing, we'll do it. But it reminds me of how my previous relationships go. We be doing stuff like that at first, and then then we end up going down that road. Um, Gordon Thomas says, "Why I am asking is there is a fellowship finder on the kingdom of, I'm sorry, in the kingdom in context. The people on there are all awake. They read all the books. It won't hurt to study the law with people and meet other people." Yeah, it's not. I'm open minded to it to a degree, but I'm also against it to a degree. It's like a 50-50. You say, sorry, I meant to say kingdom in context. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm 50-50 with it, but I ain't worried about it right now. It'll come when it comes. It'll come when it need to come. Yeah, it reminds me of Ecclesiastes 3:1-8, where everything comes and is given in its season. So it'll come when it's time. I often think I don't need a wife right now. Anyway, I don't think I be thinking about like based on and I know as as time passes, I know I'm getting further and further ready based on the things that I acquire and things that's happening with me. I know it's coming. I know it's getting closer, but I'm not rushing it. You know what I mean? I'm not like trying to I'm not trying to speed up that process. Not yet. Not yet. But I am being prepared. So it'll come when it comes. And you know what? Sometimes people be looking and they find somebody that they shouldn't marry, or they find somebody that, well, I just don't want to be looking and being with people just to be with people because that's not good. And some people that can't be alone, man, they always with somebody. My mom was like that. My mom, she just now told me this. My mom's like, I'm 36, so she's like 50. She's like 17 years older than me. I can't remember. No, I think no, she's, oh, no, she's like about 30 years old. I forget. She's older than me. She's somewhere up there. I gotta get them numbers together on my mom. But like anyway, she's almost 60 or 60. And like she just told me that, you know, about her. She was like that. I used to be like that to a degree. Like I used to always have to mess around with somebody. I was a sinner, man, a very bad one, man. I don't want to. I just don't find a need to keep being with people just to be with people because there's a lot of people that'll be with you, but I know I won't marry a lot of people, and if I already know I won't marry them, I'm not going to, just be with you to be with you or have sex with you to have sex with you and all that other stuff. Because you can do that with anybody, so I ain't worried about it. But to your comment, whoever used the app, the Kingdom and Context app, and find a wife or a husband, hopefully it goes well. God willing, it might not be for me to go look and go on that, but yeah, I'll find it, or it'll find me. We'll find each other, or I'll die without marrying, one or the other. But on the path I'm on, I cannot go without marrying because the path I'm on, it's only two ways to go. You're either full of the Spirit all the time and doing God's work all the time, and you don't marry, or you don't need to marry because that keeps your mind off of wanting to be married like Paul and the main Messiah. They didn't marry. So I know what their life was like based on my experience, and I cannot do that right now. So I have to marry, but I ain't rushing the marriage. I ain't, because I've been with people, and I don't want to meet the wrong person or another wrong person. I done been with three people since I've been walking with the Most High, taking it serious, and none of them worked, and I don't want another one that's not gonna work. So I want to just wait, stay single, and wait, and you see what happens. You said, bro, I feel. You say, bro, I feel you. If I didn't meet my wife, I don't know where I would meet a good woman. I think I may have misrepresented the app. It is not a dating app. The app, um, it is not a dating app. It is to find like-minded believers. Wow, dude, I can find that anywhere. Now you can find like-minded believers on Facebook, Instagram, um, TikTok. It just depends on how you use the social media platforms. I'm just not that. I want to like branch out, you know, again, but I'm not that eager to do it like I used to because I used to meet lots of people. I used to meet a lot of people, but I'm not. It's just not in me right now to just meet a bunch of people like that. It's not my goal to just go and meet. I guess ultimately it's not my goal to go find a wife right now. It's just not what I'm focused on. I'm more focused on reprogramming my bad programs. I'm more focused on staying fed spiritually with or without anybody. I'm more focused on staying in this position that God has put me back in. I'm more focused on maintaining that and keeping that part going and other things than finding a wife. That's like something that pops up every now and then in my mind. It's natural to think about, but it's just not something I'm focused on. It's not my main focus. It's a focus. It's a thing that I know I need to. It's something that I need in the future, but it's not something that I'm focusing on. Like I didn't make it my number one focus right now. It's not like I'll give you another thing that's bigger than a wife for me right now. Like when my lease is up, most high willing, I would like to get a house or to move out of here, but I would like a house, and I'm more focused on that than a wife. That's how less, or that's how not focused I am on finding a wife. I'm more focused on other stuff. I think if it come along, it come along. But it's also most high, most high willing. If I'm saying this properly, it's also when the most high stirs me up to find a wife. When he stirs me up to go after somebody, because sometimes I feel the need to love somebody or go after somebody, but I have to get that way spiritually. And if I don't find that, if I don't have that spiritually, I'm not going after nobody. It's a person right now that I think is that's wifey material, but I don't know if me and her should marry. I know she's wifey material and she's safe in a biblical spiritual way, but I don't know if me and her, is meant to marry. She's got good qualities, and I be thinking every now and then like, maybe you should marry her, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how the future's gonna go, and based on my preferences, she doesn't fit all of my preferences. So I don't know. And then another thing, man, I don't know if I'm gonna marry anybody in this country. Everybody don't marry people from USA or the same country. Sometimes they go to another country and then they find somebody and they marry, or vice versa. For the woman, they go to another country and find a husband. That might be my path, man, because I think it's possible to find somebody here based on my preferences and beliefs and all that. But I also think about the women of the East and how they're different in mind and seem spiritually different. I know women over here and everywhere can be that way, but it just seems like they're just worse off over here. That's all I'm just saying. But it's like slim. It's kind of like a slim pickings over here for my type. For my preference on what I would prefer. It's slim, but I know it's a lot of my type over here. It's just which one is godly, which one is for me. Are they in America? I don't know. I'm not that focused on it, but I also know she might not be in America and I might have to go elsewhere. I don't know, man. I just think, and I'm willing to travel, but I think somewhere along the way, like maybe just doing what I do, my natural stuff, and just traveling you know, to see manuscripts of the Bible or wherever God takes me and leads me and allows me to go, I think I'll just find it. I think it'll find me. We'll find each other. I don't think I really have to worry. And if I do worry, I'll just pray to God, man. I'll just, you know, it's nothing to worry about, pretty much. Even though it comes to my mind every now and then, about a wife and being married, but it's nothing to worry about. It'll happen. It'll happen when it happens. Um, and you know what? I saw a video. I just was on my phone yesterday. I had to delete a bunch of stuff off my phone because my phone is running out of storage space. And I had so many videos, 178. And I went through all my screenshots, deleted most of them. And I saw my latest ex girlfriend, the one who I used to say was the greatest. She still is the greatest, but I know she can be outdone. But I saw her in my phone because we were together last year. But and then I went through the videos and I saw me and her together again. And I saw more pictures of her. And I wanted to save some of them because I wanted to know when was we together again. And when I looked at one of the videos, it was funny to me. And I was like, man, I might put that on social media. It was a funny moment. But then another it was something I saw. Yeah, it was one of these videos I saw like two, one of them or both. Just me being around her and seeing her just helped me understand and helped me prepare me for my next whoever I'm gonna be with next. It helped me want to multiply my kindness and treat the next one better. So I mean, yeah, that's what I want to say. That came to my mind. So I'm being prepared still. Yeah, man. So maybe, yeah, that's another part of it. Getting prepared, man. Getting ready. I'm in preparation. Also, then you said, let me see what you said. You said, did I read that part? Yeah, I know I read that one. You said, I think I made, no, I read that one too. It is a bit easier in America. In South Africa, like minded believers are few and far between. What do you do for a living? I'm a driver. So I'm similar to those who go and drive like big trucks. I might not make as much as some of them, but I make about the same as some of them. I do stuff like Instacart and DoorDash. Well, man, I'm gonna wrap it up in a little bit though. Got a couple hours. Well, I don't know when I'm going to sleep, but 2 hours and 11:30. Okay. Any other questions or anything you want to say, or anybody? Gotta go finish cutting my hair. It take me forever to cut my hair, man. I'll be cutting my hair for 2 days sometimes. Oh man, I think it took me 3 days to finish my hair one time. Or was it two? Probably two. Probably two. Let me remove this thing. Oh, I can't. Hmm. The link is to a video about a Muslim's testimony. You might find it interesting. You finna send it? I didn't see a link. Maybe they treated it as spam or something. Let me go to YouTube because I'm not on YouTube directly. Yeah, it's definitely about time for me to go because I'm ready to do something. And what I what I be doing is I'll like play. Can I do that? I guess I am. And I'm gonna get hungry. Okay, so I don't see a link. It was probably blocked. Yeah, it could have been. I'm trying to go up and see. Sometimes they do stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't see a link at all. I'm on YouTube now, looking in the comments. They didn't even show if you sent it that it was blocked. To me, they didn't notify me. So maybe you say changing tracks. Mario Joseph Muslim. Iman convert. Yeah, they didn't even show me it was blocked if it was. So if you want, you can after the video. I don't think it would block it, but it may it may try to mark it as spam, but it should notify me then. If you want, after the live goes up, you can just send it to me in the comments, and it shouldn't block it. It should let it go through, or either way, it'll notify me, and then I can let it go through. That's probably better. Or you can try to resend it if you want. It's up to you. Oh, and hello everybody. I don't know who's joining, but hello to whoever's joining. We're almost at the end now. We're just talking. Gonna wrap it up and get out of here. We read the book of Sirach. We finished the last 10 chapters, 41 through 51. And it was pretty good. Soothing scriptures, increases you in spirit, makes you feel positive on the inside. You can feel the positive energy where your heart is from reading it over and over and over. It's got a lot of good scriptures. A lot. I'm going to send it to the Honor of Kings link. I'll send you the Honor of Kings link in the. Okay, okay, cool. All right. I'm finna get ready to go get something to eat. Finish my hair. I think that's the main thing I'm gonna do tonight. Should I say it? Yeah, I'll say this too. You have a good night. I am still working. It is 2 here. Oh, you too, man. You too. I'm gonna say this and leave. Well, I don't know who got you this part of the video, but if you did, I'll say this to remind people. Um, if you are on good terms with your exes, or if you can communicate with them safely without any trauma or trouble, um, just check on them spiritually. Just ask them how they doing spiritually. Make it understood on what you meant. Like, see if they're being attacked by demons, or if they know how to fight demons in case they are. Whether they're being attacked in dreams or in reality. And if they are and don't know how to fight them, ask them if they would like for you to, if you know how to fight them, ask them if they would like to know how to fight them, or help them learn to fight them, or pray for them, or whip them to cast these demons out. Be of assistance spiritually, not sexually. That's of your own. If you want to do that, then you take that upon yourself with your own free will. I'm just talking about the spiritual part. Like, check on people spiritually, whether they're your ex boyfriend, ex husband, ex wife. If you can do this safely without any trouble, married people, can, can't do certain things. It's just not safe. But you know, for those who can do that, reach out and check on your family, because demons attack everybody. Nobody's special. They attack the main Messiah, Jesus. So none of us that special. And they have to. It's their job. They have to come and attack us every now and then. It's just what they do. They attack us in dreams and in reality. It happens all the time. If somebody's watching that don't know how to fight demons, you can leave a comment and let me know. I can try to assist you, or share a video, anything to help you out. Pray for you or with you, whatever I can do. But we all just need to keep that in mind and help people along the way. Remember, in the scriptures, Moses prayed for people, whether they were righteous or not, when they asked. And, so it's not an uncommon thing that people that were righteous would pray for others, whether they were righteous or not. Because Moses prayed for the Pharaoh, and we all know how the Pharaoh was. So you, you, you just got to research scriptures. But that's one thing I definitely want to say. It's it's a spiritual warfare a lot, and we all go through it. We all go through it. I don't know what everybody's going through, and y'all don't always know what I'm going through. I haven't been on this like this in a long time, reading and studying and doing all these things with y'all in a long, long time. I've been struggling spiritually. Me and a few of my closest people, the people I'm close to, they knew what I was going through, and some of us were struggling together. We were struggling spiritually, and we didn't have people that would read for us and stuff like that to feed us spiritually. We needed to be fed, but we didn't have that, and we needed it. We wanted it. So if you are suffering spiritually, or you know someone that suffers spiritually and they need to be fed spiritually, family member or just anybody, like, if you can do it with them, read with them. It'll be a blessing to you and them. Read with them, whether they're an atheist, whether they're homosexual, lesbian, whatever. Read with them if you can. My grandma needs to read with people currently. She don't have a lot of people to read and study and stuff like that with, like she used to. And I'm thinking about reading with her every now and then, and maybe giving her this idea that she could start like a family Bible study at her home, and whoever comes, on certain days or nights when she does it. But it's important that she be fed spiritually. And just think about that. Like, if your grandparents or grandma or is alive, and you know that they need to be fed spiritually, isn't it worth trying to feed them spiritually or assisting? Or so that's worth it to me, especially if your grandparents or whoever helped you, uh, you know on your way. My grandma did a lot for me, so in a way it's deserving. So anyway, don't forget to help each other out along this path. We all need prayer. I know I do. I don't ask for it a lot, but I do. I was suffering spiritually. We don't always know what people are going through. I was gone for about 6 months. I didn't make videos like that. You didn't see me for a while. I was gone for so long. I said it's like I'm dead on YouTube. I said this. I was gonna put a video on YouTube and say that that's how long I was away. It seemed like I died. And if I did die in reality, most of you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. So anyway, you just never know what people are going through. So just check on people every now and then. See how they doing spiritually. At least spiritually. All right. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace be to the saints. And thanks for watching. Hope I see some of y'all the next time. I'll be reading the Shepherd of Hermas book 1 through 3, most high willing. I don't know when. I don't know when. But when you see me, if you can join, join. If you can't, you can watch it later. If you want. Peace be to the saints. Get out of here. Your mood is bright light over there. This light is so close to my forehead. I've never had this light this close. Yeah, never. Nah, never. And this light is super bright. Oh, Gordon says something. Let's see. Gordon says, "Can I pray for you for something?" Yeah, if you let me think of something. Let me think. Ah, got it. Okay, pray for this. If you can remember, Gordon. If you forget, somehow some kind of way, I could possibly communicate with you again and remind you, because this is specific right here. So pray that I am successful through the Most High to reprogram my bad program or bad programs, but specifically for this one, I need to conquer overall my lust. Um, well, let me say it properly. I lust, sin, and die spiritually over women, and I need to stop entirely. So help me with that. Like, you can pray for that for me. So basically, I'm asking you to pray for my success through the Most High, that I'm successful to stop lusting, sinning, and dying spiritually over women. That's what I need right there. I have been doing a bit better, or I've been doing okay, but not completely successful yet. So I need to do better in that area. I need to keep reprogramming that bad program and prepare for that more and more, so I can conquer that. So that's what I would ask for right there. Anybody else that would like to pray for me on that same thing, I would take it as well. The prayer from a righteous person availeth much. I ain't gonna not take the prayer. If the Most High is gonna answer it and accept it from you, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. So if you can remember that, there you go. Anything y'all want me to pray about, let me know. Or Thomas, you can ask Thomas to pray for you, or anybody you think is righteous, ask. Because I've went to preachers in Christian churches when a lot of so-called Hebrews don't even like Christians and stuff like that. But some of these Christians are actually keeping God's laws, and some of these so-called Hebrews are messing up. They are messing up. right. Thanks, Thomas. Thompson. Sorry about that, Thompson. I said Thomas. All right. Well, peace be to the saints. So I'm gonna get out of here and finish cutting my hair and working and all that other crap. See y'all next time, most high willing. All right. And I'm going to eat.